ちゃった。ちょっと風邪気味です。花粉症かなって、1日目は花粉症かなって思っていて、喉が痛くて、喉と鼻詰まりと鼻水がすごくて花粉症かなって思ってたんですけど、熱測ったら37度いってて、37度1回行って、で一応怖いから怖いからね。ちょっとまあそれで風邪気味ですね。
If you won some money at the casino, only put all your winnings on red. It came up flat. If you got your best shirt dry cleaned before a wedding, it immediately dropped $2. If you won an argument with a friend, and then later discovered that they just returned to their original view, starting over is harder than starting up.
なので
If
ちょ
you're
っと
not
声
ready
が
for
変
that,
かもしれませ
like
ん。
if you've already had a bad day, then what you're about to go through might be too much. Feel free to go away and come back.
今回は
Alright, thanks for coming with me on this trip.
ミスをしないことを
I'll
目標
understand
に
if you
ね
have to take a break at any point.
頑張っていきたいと思い
Just
ま
find a
す。
safe place to stop and quit the game. Don't worry, I'll save your progress, always, even your mistakes. This game is a homage to a free game that came out in 2002 called Sexy High.
マイクを単
The
位
author
方
of
向
that
性
game
に
is
したん
Jazz
で
a mysterious Czech designer
聞こえづらい
who
と
was
かあ
known
っ
at
た
the
ら
time as the father of B games. And B games are rough assemblages of found objects.
コメ欄に書い
Designers
てもらっ
slap them together very quickly and freely, and they're often too rough and unfriendly to gain much of a following. They're built more for the joy of building them than as polished products.
単一指向性か。
In a certain way, Sexy Hiking is the perfect embodiment of a B game.
もうちょい左
It's
に
built almost entirely out of
右か。
found and recycled parts, and it's one of the most unusual and unfriendly games of its time.
一旦落ち着いて、
In it, your task is simply to drag yourself up a mountain with a hammer.
今回はミスをしない
That
こと
act
が
of
目標な
climbing, in the digital world or in real life, has certain essential properties that give the game its flavor. No amount of forward progress is guaranteed. Some cliffs are too sheer or too slippery, and the player is constantly, unremittingly in danger of falling and losing everything. Anyway, when you start Sexy Hiking, you're standing next to this dead tree that blocks the way to the entire rest of the game. It might take you an hour to get over that tree, and a lot of people never got past it. Prod and poke at it, exploring the limits of your reach and your strength, trying to find a way up and over. And there's a sense of truth in that lack of compromise. Most obstacles in video game worlds are fake. You can be completely confident in your ability to get through them once you have the correct method or the correct equipment or just by spending enough time. In that sense, every pixelated obstacle in Sexy Hiking is real.
これ
The
が
obstacles in Sexy Hiking are unyielding, and that makes the game uniquely
これで
frustrating.
乗れるから、
But I'm not sure Jazuo intended to make a frustrating game.
そこか
The
らここ
frustration
に
is just essential to the act of climbing, and it's authentic to the process of building a game about climbing. A funny thing happened to me as I was building this mountain. I'd have an idea for a new obstacle,
よ
and
しよ
I'd
しよ
build
しよ
it,
し、落ち
test
着いてい
it,
けてるわ。
and it would usually turn out to be unreasonably hard. But I couldn't bring myself to make it easier. It already felt like my inability to get past a new obstacle was my fault as a player rather than as a builder.
危ない。
Imaginary mountains build themselves from our efforts to climb them. And it's our repeated attempts to reach the summit that turns those mountains into something real. When you're building a video game world, you're building with ideas.
とね
And that can be like working with quicksand cement. You mold your ideas into a certain shape that can be played with. And in the process of playing with them, they begin to harden and set until they're immutable, like rock. And at that point, you can't change the world. Not without breaking it into pieces and starting fresh with new ideas.
そして目が
For
動体
years
視力が
now,
悪い。
people have been predicting that games would soon be made out of prefabricated
やっ
objects.
ぱね、
bought
ミス
in
し
a
ないでいくと
store
ね、
and assembled into a
緊張っていうかなんだろうね。
And for the most part, that
ミ
hasn't
スっちゃダメ
happened.
だっていうプレッシャーが
Because
出
the
るから、
objects in the stores are
ああいうところ
trash.
時間かかっちゃうかもし
I
れ
don't
ない。
mean they look bad or that they're badly made, although a lot of them are. I mean they're trash in the way that food becomes trash as soon as you put it in the sink. Things are made to be consumed and used in a certain context. And once the moment is gone, they transform into
ああ惜し
garbage.
い
In the context of technology, those moments pass by in seconds. Over time, we've poured more and more refuse into this vast digital landfill that we call the internet. It now vastly outnumbers and outweighs the things that are fresh and untainted and unused. When everything around us is cultural trash, trash becomes the new medium, the lingua franca of the digital age. And you can build culture out of trash. But only trash culture. B games, B movies, B music, B philosophy. Maybe this is what digital culture is. A monstrous mountain of trash, the ash heap of creativity's fountain. A landfill with everything we ever thought of in it.
ここ何
Grand,
回もミスっちゃうとやっぱ
infinite,
りダメだよ
and
な
unsorted. There's 3D models of breakfast, Gen X's fanfic novels, Scan magazines, green screen Shia LaBeouf, banned snuff scenes on LiveLeak. Facebook's got lifelike bots with unbranded adverts and candid shots of Kanye and Taylor Swift mashups, car crash epic failed gifs, Russian dashcam vids, discussions of McRibs, discarded, forgotten, unrecycled, muddled, rotten, untitled. Everything's fresh for about 6 seconds, until some newer thing beckons, and we hit refresh. And there's years of persevering, disappearing into the pile, out of style, out of sight. In this context, it's tempting to make friendly content that's gentle, that lets you churn through it but not earn it. Why make something demanding if it just gets piled up in the landfill, filed in with the bland things? When games were new, they wanted a lot from you. Daunting you, taunting you, resetting and delaying you. Players played stoically. Now everyone's turned off by that. They want to burn through it quickly. A quick fix for the fickle, some tricks for the clicks of the feckless. But that's not you. You're an acrobat. You could swallow a baseball bat.
調子悪いな
Now I know, most likely you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch, while some dude with 10 million views does it for you, like a baby bird being fed chewed up food. That's culture too. But on the off chance that you're playing this, what I'm saying is, trash is disposable, but maybe it doesn't have to be approachable. What's the feeling like? Are you stressed? I guess you don't hate it if you got this far. Feeling frustrated? It's underrated. An orange is sweet, juicy fruit locked inside a bitter peel. That's not how I feel about a challenge. I only want the bitterness. It's coffee. It's grapefruit. It's licorice. It feels like we're closer now. Composer and climber, designer and user. You could have refused, but you didn't. There was something in you that was hidden, that chose to continue. It means a lot to me that you've come this far, endured this much. Every wisecrack, every insensitivity, every setback you've forgiven me is a kingly gift that you've given me. We have the same taste, you and I. It's not ambition. It's ambition's opposite. An obdurate mission to taste defeat. You'll feel bad if you win, so I put this snake in for you.
よいしょ結構いいペースじゃないよいしょ最速だね今まででやばい焦ったな今よいしょここかまずくないよしもうちょい上普通にいけたわミスんない目的でやってたから
in this? Are you the man in the pot, Diogenes? Are you his hand? Are you the top of his hammer? I think not. Where your hand moves, the hammer may not follow, nor the man, nor the man's hand. In this you're his will, his intent, the embodied resolve in his uphill ascent.
よいしょ。ラスト。
Now, you've conquered the ice cliff, the platforms, the church, and the rectory, the living room and the factory, the playground, the construction site, the granite rocks, and the lakeside. You've learned to hike. There's no way left to go but up, and in a moment I'll shut up. I'll say, I'm glad you came.
嘘、そんなことある？台無しだよ。まあいいや。よいしょ。やばいな。ダメだ。慎重にいかんとな。もうタイム更新は無理だな。やべ、調子悪いっつうか、なんかもうダメだわ。雪山にこんな時間かかったの初めてかも。 最悪だ。
What? 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 Oh, you just lost a lot of progress. That's a deep frustration, a real punch in the gut. What?
20分だな。
What? What?
I dedicate this game to you, the one who came this far.
ダメだ。
I give it to you
タイムが遅すぎる。
for my love.
17分。いや、途中まで多分10分台いけた。9分台いけたな。ダメでした。以上です。